Welcome to the 517 Rock Interview. My special guest today, he's super talented on his Gibson J200, John Barry. Thanks for joining me so much.
Good,
you've had so many hit songs over the years, and we were talking even about, you've had 20 hits on country radio, and the Graduation song, we were talking about that earlier.
Oh man, that's from way back.
And, wow, look at all the albums you've sold, and now you got a brand new one out, What I Love the Most.
Yeah.
And
really proud of it.
An incredible album. Now, tell me how the album really came about.
Well, we did this is the second time we've done a Kickstarter campaign.
Okay.
And so we through different packages and fan supported, friend supported fundraising campaign to do the project, and we went recorded it just in Hendersonville at the TBN Studios. So they got just a ridiculously great recording facility.
Oh yeah.
And we recorded out there and had a bunch of the guys from here in town play on the record, and they did a tremendous job. One of the great things about when we cut it is before we started the project, on day one, we had everybody sitting in the control room and gave me a minute just to do a little cheerleading before we got started. And I said, guys, we have no rules. But there's no restrictions. There's nobody telling us what we can and can't do.
Wow.
All we're doing here, I just want to cut as great a record as I can cut.
Yeah.
Not trying to please anybody but the people in this room.
That's incredible.
I said, I want contribution from you. Have an idea? Let us know.
Yeah.
Let's just put it all out there.
Well, I read an article too, John, to where it said that you were able to hire the best of the best, to come in on this album.
Yeah, and I had to contribute that to some guys who played on my records when I was at Capitol over the years, when they got triple scale and all that. And we called up and said, hey, we don't have that kind of budget, but would you consider coming? And man, everybody jumped on.
Well, now also we were talking off camera that this is the 20th anniversary of your Christmas tour. And I've got some friends, in the Sinclair Broadcast Group company that said, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you're having John Barry on," because they always go see you when you do the Christmas tour, like down in Louisiana.
Yeah.
And so you also, when you did this album, you're working on a Christmas album also, right?
Yeah, we did a 5-song EP called This Christmas Night.
Yeah.
And since we did the project and completed it, Sony Red Mansion Records picked it up for distribution, and they asked if we would go in and cut 5 more songs for the Christmas project. So this Christmas Night disc will have 5 more songs added, which we're going to record next month, and get that ready for this Christmas season.
And so it'll probably come out this fall?
It'll be out on the Christmas. Yeah, we'll have it out in the fall and for the Christmas tour. And
yeah, because I was going to bring up, you've got new management, everything. It seems like I've seen you everywhere.
I'm everywhere.
You've been on, WSN. I mean, it's like radio. It's like everything. You were just on the Opry this last Friday.
I love playing Opry.
And you're touring a lot. I mean, and a lot with the new album.
Yeah, we're getting everything going with it. It's exciting. It's really exciting. The Christmas tour will be, like I said before, 20th anniversary of the tour. We're doing around 23 cities, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
And you can certainly find out more at my website at johnbarry.com. We'll have all our tour schedule up soon for the Christmas dates. And it's just a lot of fun. It's a great family event. It's a very faith-based Christmas show. We do a lot of almost all traditional, but with just a real focus on the faith-based part of the Christmas
I think that's
season.
what people enjoy so much. I know here in Nashville as well, is that it is faith-based. And, I was reading one thing, not to, embarrass you, but to where I read an article that said you were one of the best tenors in country music.
Oh, wow.
And it's like, that's a pretty huge compliment.
It's very nice. I appreciate that.
And, I think it's great, too. We were talking about the title of the album, What I Love the Most. And I was talking to you about your hobbies, and that you used to golf a lot now, but really now you just sleep when you have time off. And that what you love the most is your family time. Oh, yeah. And you've got your wife, Robin, and then your son on drums on tour with you.
And my wife co-produced the record with me.
Wow.
And she about fell on the floor, and when she saw the packaging and it said co-producer Robin Barry, and she's like, what are you doing? And I said, listen, you were in the control room every day.
Right.
You probably had more input on ideas for songs because I tend to sit back and let these great musicians do things.
Yeah.
And she does too, but she does have ideas. She hears things, and she'll tell you in a second. She's not a singer. She's not a musician. She's not a producer, but she's got great ears.
Well, and that's what I noticed listening to the album myself, and I listen to it primarily while I'm driving into work, or going home. You can really hear the different layers of instrumentation, and your voice sits on top very nicely.
That's nice.
And so you can understand the lyrics, and the instruments are great. Now I want to talk real briefly. How did you end up coming here to Nashville? Because now you're back again, but how did you come here originally?
Originally, I lived in Athens, Georgia for years.
Right.
And most of my life. And I was playing clubs in Athens, and I was a really, really big fish in a very, very small pond. And I played clubs around Athens, and amazing. Athens was sort of the hub. I'd play there 1 or 2 nights a week, and then I'd go out different towns, 50, 60, 100 miles away, and play other nights, and then come back to Athens on the weekends. And I was playing at a club. I got home about 2 o'clock. I was headed home about 2 o'clock in the morning after playing on late nights, Friday night, Saturday night. And I had the radio on, and the song came on, and I was like, wow, this is cool, Joe Diffie song.
Yeah.
I turned it up, and it was Ships That Don't Come In.
Wow, great song.
And and I listened to that song, and I listened to this lyric that these guys had written, and it just moved me. For the first time in my life, it occurred to me that maybe this is what I'll do.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll just be a big fish in a little bitty pond. And I didn't like that idea.
And it moved you here.
And I went home and I woke Robin up, and I said, and through tears, I said, we have to come up with a plan.
Wow.
And I said, this can't be all.
Yeah.
There has to be more to what we do.
Yeah.
And I said, so let's come up with a plan. We came up with a plan. We were going to come to Nashville and send out industry showcase invitations.
Yeah.
And we did our first one at Douglas Corner. And we sent out 250 invitations. And our plan is to send out invitations, do one, wait 2 weeks to hear, send out invitations, do it again.
Yeah.
We were going to do it for a year. If nothing came of it, we would come up with plan B. And we did our first one. And no one came but one guy. Out of those 250 invitations went out, Herky Williams showed up. And Herky had heard about me from his sister, who used to come to the clubs in Athens.
Oh my gosh, small world.
And he had come to Athens to hear another band and swung by the club to hear me, but couldn't get in. There was a line down the street.
Wow.
So that piqued his interest, So when he saw I was doing the showcase, he came. And afterwards, we talked for a while, went and got a bite to eat like everybody in Nashville does after a show.
Yeah.
And then a few weeks later had me come up and do a private showcase for Jimmy Bowen, who at that time was the president of Capitol.
Yeah.
And walked out of there with a record deal.
It's just an incredible story.
I'm sure a lot of that at that time, it was spaghetti against the wall.
Yeah.
And see what sticks.
Yeah.
And but it was great that Herky had that intuition about what I was doing and the foresight, and that he drove the train on that with Jimmy Bowen. He also got me a management deal at that time with Charlie Daniels folks, Corlew, David Corlew, and just great bunch of people. And they helped me do a lot of things for a number of years. It was really great.
Well, I really like what you're doing now, and the album releases this Friday, June 3rd. And they can find it, on your website.
Yep.
And then on Amazon, iTunes. And you'll be on tour.
Yeah.
And back at the Opry.
Yeah.
And
actually, the day the record comes out, I'll be at the Crystal Palace, Buck Owens Crystal Palace in Bakersfield, California.
That's a piece of history.
Oh, I love playing there.
Oh my gosh, that's so great.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you. It's a treat to be with you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
John Barry, be sure and pick up a copy of the new album, What I Love the Most. And I think you're going to love this new album. And be sure and check him out too. Let's see if we can get him back on when the Christmas album comes out this fall. And he'll be on tour for the rest of the year with the family. Thanks for watching The Rockin' Review.